Hello, EKN Nation. Welcome to the EKN Radio Network and our new podcast of the EKN OutLap, our preview podcast for the upcoming EKN Trackside live event, where we'll look at the race, the teams, the drivers, and obviously the championships going into this weekend, which will be the 2024 United States Pro Kart Series Indiana Grand Prix, the fifth and final event of the 2024 championship program. This podcast is presented by Comet Kart Sales. History, success, family. These are three words that describe Comet Kart Sales, one of the longest tenured karting businesses in the United States. The family-owned operation is located just outside Indianapolis and has provided karts, parts, and services for thousands of racers in the near 6 decades of business. Their brand new, updated online store features everything you need, and they continually adding new parts to their product line. Make sure you head to the new cometkartsales.com or call them at 317-462-3413 to be part of the Comet Kart Sales family today. I'm David Cole. We are joined by Nate Dean as well here to, again, preview the United States Pro Kart Series Indiana Grand Prix happening this weekend, September 27th through the 29th at the Newcastle Motorsports Park in Newcastle, Indiana. Nate, it's going to be the fifth and final event. It's been an exciting 2024 season. We got all 7 championships still up for grabs heading into the weekend.
Yeah, it definitely should be a fun one. Newcastle always throws a interesting dynamic into the racing, just with how tight and technical the past couple of race weekends have been for the USPKS. Now going to a bit more of a power track to end things off. A lot of draft racing should make things interesting.
And what should make things interesting as we wrap up the 12th season of this championship, which began back in 2013, or the series began back in 2013, is going to be wet weather. The forecast for this weekend is calling for rain nearly every single day. We are monitoring a weather system that is moving up through the Gulf now, which could end up becoming a hurricane, I think. So the southern states like Florida and that could possibly be affected. I think they were saying landfall about Thursday. So all that weather is going to be coming up this way, up towards Indiana. And right now we're at 63% of rain on Friday, 53% chance of rain on Saturday, and a 56% chance of rain on Sunday. So temps will be in the 70s. So hopefully, Nate, it's not going to be a cold rain. It'll be a warm rain if it does indeed hit the Newcastle facility.
Yeah, hopefully at least the temperature shouldn't be too miserable if we do get a ton of rain to end off the season, which obviously finishing off a season with no drops and, grinding all year to get good results, and then finishing things off with some wet weather racing to decide some championships could throw a wrench in the works.
And I don't think, if you recall, I don't think we've had any like full wet weather days into 2024 for USPKS. I think there was a little bit of rain. I think we had in practice day at Dousman at the Millwright Raceway, but other than that, it's been dry.
Yeah, I can't think about anything else. I think it was a little damp at Sunday at Trackhouse for the first couple of warm-up sessions when drivers were getting the track figured out then. But by the time we got to the B mains, everything was dry then. So like you said, first full day of wet racing potentially this weekend.
Yeah, that's going to be a major impact in the championships and everything surrounding that, including the Geo Cup program, handing out $5,000 this year to the team that does record the most victories on the season. Right now, I think Rollison Performance Group is leading that by 1 victory thus far. So that's going to be a key aspect as well, too. And again, we'll be at Newcastle Motorsports Park and utilizing the 1 mile layout, the national counterclockwise direction. So it's the same facility or same circuit that everybody's been accustomed to using over the last 21 years at Newcastle Motorsports Park, which opened back in 2003. And again, the United States Pro Kart Series has been going to the Newcastle Motorsports Park since it launched back in 2013. Nate, give us a quick rundown of the event schedule for this year's Indiana Grand Prix.
Yeah, so typical schedule for the USPKS, you have Thursday optional practice, moving into Friday. You'll have 4 rounds of practice and then ending off the day with quali. Saturday, warm-up, Heat 1, Heat 2, and Heat 3, that being 12 laps for all those heats. Sunday, you move into the warm-ups yet again, and then straight into the finals. So 24 laps for the pros, 22 for the rest of the classes, apart from the cadets, which we'll be doing at 20 laps.
So yes, everything leads up to the action on Sunday where the main events will take place. So, but a lot happening before that. The 3 heat races are going to be very crucial in some of the championship chases. Again, you get 25 bonus points for setting fast time in qualifying, and then 100 points for each heat win. So a lot of points to be divvied out throughout Friday and Saturday before we get into the main events on Sunday. But that's when the big points happen. And that is when you get the 400 points for a win in any of the categories, and it goes down from there for the positions. And so again, 725 is plus entries is the maximum amount of points. So again, when we kind of go through the breakdown of all the categories, that's going to kind of be the key number, because again, everybody, there's still a lot of people mathematically eligible in some of the championships. So that's going to be the exciting side of the weekend, is figuring out who actually is in contention for the championship once we get into Sunday's racing. And again, KA100 Senior, KA100 Junior still going to be running the ABCD format. So again, that provides them opportunities with, options, narrowing in the points in both of those categories as well, if you get some of the championship contenders in separate heat races. So that makes it even more exciting as well too. So that's basically the events going into the weekend. Again, it's going to be a busy and fun weekend in Newcastle Motorsports Park. So with that, let's head into our first commercial break. And when we return, we'll do a little by the numbers for the USPKS Indiana Grand Prix.
What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is Kart. The Sodi brand returned in full force during the 2023 season thanks to the new exclusive importer, the Karting Distribution, led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer Kart is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. The Sodi Racing chassis line offers product in classes from mini karts to KZ, all based on years of development and championship seasons around the world. Sodi Racing USA has expanded its dealer network over the last year, bringing the Sodi brand to several local clubs and regional programs. The Sodi Racing USA by PK Sports is the official race team, producing many victories in different levels across the board. And the new Pro Race Academy is designed to cater to the next generation of motor racing, helping boys and girls aiming to make their mark. Visit Sodi-Racing-USA.com to learn more about Sodi Kart chassis, or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sodi Racing USA network today. Sodi Kart, the world leader in the karting industry. Ready to step up your game? Joining the Rawlison Performance Group is the obvious choice to take your racing to the next level. Industry-leading driver development is provided by our staff of multi-time national champions, Super Nationals winners, and Team USA members. And at the same time, RPG continues to be a national-level powerhouse race team. Our goal is to help you raise your game and win races. We work with all age groups and are focused on developing those cadet and junior drivers who are ready to take the next step in their racing program. Rawlison Performance Group has set a new standard with our in-house engine program, AVP Engines, headed by Alex Vincent. AVP has become the benchmark in IAME competition. We have the largest OTK inventory that follows our race team, providing trackside parts at all the major events in North America. RPG also offers multilingual support with French, Spanish, and Portuguese-speaking staff. If you want to fight for championships or want to improve your skills and your chances to win, the answer is to call RPG at 503-260-4514. The Rawlson Performance Group. We race to win. The Performance Racing Industry Show, the 3 biggest days in the business of motorsports, is returning to Indianapolis this December. Featuring the newest parts and technology, access to countless manufacturers and service providers, and virtually unlimited opportunities to network face-to-face with industry leaders, the PRI Show is where everyone in the racing industry gathers under one roof on December 12th to 14th. If you're in the business of racing, you have to be at the PRI Show. Visit PRIshow.com to learn more and register today. Race you there.
And welcome back to the EKN Radio Network as we are recording our EKN OutLap, our preview podcast for the upcoming United States Pro Kart Series Indiana Grand Prix. I'm David Cole, joined by Nate Dean in this podcast presented by Comet Kart Sales. And we are now into the by the numbers, looking at the class entries for all 7 divisions set to compete this weekend. Nate, we're just below the 200 mark in terms of entries, so we should see probably at least a dozen walk-ups. We typically get that at Newcastle Motorsports Park. So we should surpass that 200 mark going into the weekend, or once we get into racing. We're sitting right now at 192, and the biggest category of the event thus far, K100 Junior at 45, which is about the average for the category throughout the season after a couple big ones at Speed Sports and Trackhouse.
Yeah, almost just under that 200 mark after, we'll say though, since writing the script, it's from Race Select, it's at 199 right now. So adding that plus walk-ups should hopefully be over that 200 mark. But yeah, even though the entries still down from what they were at the start of the year, some pretty healthy class sizes throughout, with especially in the KA junior and senior classes, micro and mini drivers always show up. So still a good group of drivers heading to Newcastle this weekend.
Yeah, K100 senior at 36, so that's going to be the second largest group. Mini and micro at 29 and 28. So again, still solid numbers there. Over 50 drivers under the age of 12 competing on the weekend. And you look at the junior categories. We already talked KA junior, but X30 junior has increased once again. It's at 24. So this is the second highest total for that category on the season. 32 was the biggest, and that was at Trackhouse. And of course, just like Newcastle, you get a lot of walk-ups coming into the Trackhouse and kind of one-offs for that weekend. The other category is K100 Masters, up to 17, so its largest field of the season, so that's good to see. We got a lot of stories going into that category when we get into our class preview, so that'll be fun to talk about. Really, the only negative you look at is X30 Pro, and Nate, that's gone from 21 and 25 at the beginning of the year down to just 13 this weekend. It's now 14, as you said, looking at the Race Select entry list as we get championship leader Austin Garrison now on the list. So just over a dozen there. It's just a lot of racing going on, and again, championship nearly wrapped up. A lot of racing still to happen, but not exactly sure why the numbers keep decreasing in that category. And that's just, Nate, something we'll have to look at over the winter.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to think it's along the lines of you're at the end of a very long season, not just for the USPKS, but for all series, in general. If those drivers that started the season in X30 don't really have a chance at going for that title or competing with some of the big guns in this class, it can get expensive to run a full X30 program. So some drivers just probably opting out at that point and saving up for bigger races like the Supernats or the Rock Vegas event later on in the year. So a ton of factors going into that, but just to name a few.
Yeah, so that'll be an interesting scenario to look at. Yeah, and like you said, people are kind of waiting out the final events of the season. So again, X30, certainly the upper echelon in terms of cost, to compete at, and some of the drivers moving over to race in the KA senior category, or just some not competing at all. So that'll be one, and you look at the schedule too as well, going to 5 races. That's a lot more. So now with USPKS going down to 4, hopefully that'll help overall in terms of numbers with that category. So let's head to our next commercial break. And when we return, we'll start doing our class by class previews, and we'll start with X30 Pro and KA Senior after these messages.
Are you ready to go from karts to cars? Since 1975, the Skip Barber Racing School has taken great drivers and made them champions. Today, we're proud to welcome the next generation of winners. Make the transition from karts to cars with the Skip Barber Formula Race Series. You'll compete at the most iconic tracks in America. Race weekends include your very own equalized Formula 4 race car, a professional crew, expert instruction, video and data analysis, hospitality, and more. This is the place to fulfill your dream of becoming a champion. Sign up today by calling 866-932-1949 or visit us at skipbarber.com.
Parolin is among the winningest brands in the USA and around the world. The Parolin Le Mans full-size chassis for junior and senior classes and the Parolin Opportunity model for cadet divisions have earned success weekend after weekend at all the major championships and events in both the USA and throughout Europe. The Parolin chassis lineup also includes the Invader shifter, along with the Daytona 4-cycle chassis and the Delfino Kid Kart. Karters can head to the ParolinUSA.com website, where the entire chassis line and parts are available to you, with shipping available all across North America. Parolin USA partners with several companies and race teams across the country to provide a strong dealer network to represent the brand locally and at the national level to support drivers throughout North America. Get on the chassis that's winning. Drive a Parolin. It's a storied brand in karting, and it's got a new home in North America. Energy Course Americas is the official distributor for the Energy Course karting chassis and product line here in the US and Canada. The Energy Course brand was founded in 1997 out of passion and skill. Manufactured in Italy, Energy Course has gained national and international recognition with success in all different categories. Energy Course Americas offers an online store for the entire product line of the Energy Course brand, including complete racing packages, spare parts, race gear, clothing, and more, providing an excellent shopping experience. Race the brand that 9 of the 20 drivers currently in Formula 1 competed on during their karting careers. Visit energycourse.io to see the latest deals and to learn more about Energy Course Americas.
Welcome back to the EKN OutLap, our preview podcast for the upcoming United States Pro Kart Series Indiana Grand Prix. I'm David Cole, joined by Nate Dean, as we are bringing you episode 78 on September 24th, 2024. This show presented by Comet Kart Sales, and we are now into our class previews. The first class up is X30 Pro, presented by Rollison Performance Group, and then we just got done talking about by the numbers. Entries will be at 14, with championship leader and round 3 winner Austin Garrison entering and going to be part of the event this weekend. And Nate, he's got a 196-point lead heading into the weekend.
Yeah, it's a healthy margin for Austin going into the weekend. One of the bigger gaps to second in terms of championship points. DiTullio falling in that second spot. Then you have Paulie Massimino, Ryan Norberg, Harley Keeble, the top 5. So mathematically, 4 drivers will leave still in this, with Norberg being the last of those after having some a unlucky spell in the midpoint of the season, even though he's had some really strong performances since then. Should be interesting to see if Ryan can get himself further up that championship order, or maybe even take it away in a bit of a shock move at come Sunday if things go right for him. But yeah, for Austin Garrison and Speed Concepts, them looking for a major national championship like this will be huge for them, huge for that program, and would definitely be happy for them if they pull it off.
Yeah, it's Austin Garrison, Speed Concepts, racing Alessandro Di Tullio in the Inter-MS Kart Republic program, 196 points back. Paulie Massimino with Brandon Jarzakrak Racing and Mike Doty Racing, 211 points back, and Ryan Norberg with Rollison Performance Group, 277 points back. Harley Keeble, the Inter-MS Kart Republic driver, who just finished 10th or in the top 10 at the FIA Karting World Championships back in the UK, essentially out of the championship. There's not enough drivers, I think, to allow for him to gain enough points to be able to battle for the championship. So as you said, we have 4 drivers in the mix, and looking at the Excel spreadsheet, the famous spreadsheet that we do put together for these weekends. If you look at Ryan Norberg, he's going to need Garrison to finish. Essentially, if you look at going across the board, outside the top 9 in all heat races and the main event. So there's a lot of work or a lot of help that Norberg's going to need in order for that to happen. He did get that at SCUSA Pro Tour Championship back at the Summer Nationals, but this is a little different. This is a lot more points and a lot less drivers in the field as well too. So there's just, you can't call him out completely out of it. There's still that opportunity to be able to hit that. So we'll have to see how things play out. Paulie Massimino, again, he's going to need Garrison Di Tullio to finish outside the top 7, or for Garrison outside the top 7 and Di Tullio outside the top 2. So that's kind of the measuring stick going into the weekend, where Di Tullio is going to need Garrison to finish outside the top 7 all weekend as well. So a lot of help for those 3 drivers looking to take down Garrison going into the weekend. But again, nothing's done and nothing's set in stone. You never know what's going to happen, especially if we get rain, right, Nate?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you can't ever count out a tech DQ as well, or something along those lines. That would just be a big 0 for the event there. So just adding more pressure for the mechanics and the teams there on that front.
Certainly does put a little pressure on that. So some other notes going into the weekend, aside from the championship, we got Aiden Ingrata, the Canadian, coming back to race in karting after doing some car stuff. He's joining Rollison Performance Group this weekend. He's going to be racing alongside another Canadian making his USPKS debut. That'll be Lucas de Longchamp. So both of them joining the Rollison Performance Group. So they have actually 6 drivers of the 14 that are going to be racing in X30 Pro. So Norberg's got a lot of data to work with in order to try and be the best, and also working with those drivers as well too to get them up towards the front. Austin Old's another driver to watch for. He's going to be making his second start in the X30 Pro category as well. Nate, any other final notes in X30 Pro?
Yeah, not really. A couple the drivers outside of the top 5 that could be looking for a big weekend. Brendan Carr, who was quick at MCC, the last visit we had there, but had a technical DNF in the final that obviously didn't go his way. Aiden is going to be a driver to watch, especially this weekend. He was quick in junior when he ran, in the few appearances he made in the senior class. He definitely impressed a lot of us. And Quentin McPherson is one of those drivers who's made his senior debut this year. He's just only gained pace and knowledge and experience since then. So could be a big weekend for him too.
That's a good note. I thought he had a senior year already under his belt. So that's good to know about that. Heading into K100 Senior, presented by Brandon Jarzakrak Racing. We got 36 drivers coming into this weekend, and 4 different winners over the 4 rounds of racing, Nate. That's a pretty solid measuring stick to show just how competitive this category is. You had Alan Isambard winning in the speeds at Speed Sports. You had Paulie Massimino winning at Trackhouse, Mick Gabriel winning in Wisconsin, and then James Overbeck defending his home turf in Ohio as the 4 different winners on the season. We got 3 of them racing this weekend. I'm checking Isambard. No, he's not on the entry list. So Isambard not racing as of right now in the category. So that's something we'll have to watch. But we do know Gabriel and James Overbeck going to be racing. But really, the championship, this is the closest championship that we have going into the weekend. 20 points separating the top 2 with shifter kart driver. I guess you can't really call him that because he is a former USPKS champion in the single speed stuff. So AJ Myers, a dual threat, leading the championship on the Magic Kart USA entry over Iron Rock Motorsports driver Cooper Shipman. So just 20 points separating those 2 drivers coming in. So neither of them have a victory, but both of them have been quick every racetrack we've been to. A little bad luck here and there for both, but a little good luck for both as well. And so we have 2 drivers now with tons of points up for grabs, only separated by 20 points, Nate, heading into the finale.
Yeah, and you can, with Myers, Shipman, Cameron Weinberg in 3rd, and then Connor Ferris in 5th for the top 5, not having wins this year, which is an interesting note, with James Overbeck currently 4th in points for 49 back from AJ Myers in the lead. So I'm sure those guys will definitely be gunning for it and trying to finish off their championship charge with a win this weekend.
Yeah, Weinberg has a little bit of a better shot at maybe messing this up a little bit. Again, 36 drivers in the field. We're going to get some rain. Anything can happen. And you look at him, he needs Myers to finish outside the top 10 and Cooper Shipman to finish outside the top 9 to be able to, with a sweep, again, of course, looking at that. And we saw Caleb Gaffera do very well at Newcastle in the Chad Dawkin Racing entry, Kart Republic entry at the Summer Nationals. So Weinberg looking to do the same this weekend and try and get that. Overback just a little too far outside with that 449 deficit that he's facing to AJ Myers. So that's a lot of help he's going to need. Just the Wisconsin weekend is really what cost him. You look at that, he could have easily be in the championship punt had it not be for his troubles in Wisconsin. So that's pretty interesting to look at. So again, championship implications, 36 drivers on the field, weather coming in, some other news coming into the weekend where the announcement's going to be published on EKN here pretty soon, but Steven Eisert is going to be moving over from Sodi Racing USA and rejoining Speed Sense Motorsports with Austin Elliott, the Northern California-based operation moving up. So, Nate, do you think that's going to be kind of a factor? We've seen Iser kind of close all season long. Do you think it could be a positive heading into this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, who knows, really? Because, I mean, Steven's been pretty good on that Sodi package this year. And then, I mean, going back to a chassis and team that he knows, but still having to get back into the rhythm of things might take a little bit of time. So it's ultimately we'll see come practice and Friday when it's go fast time and qualifying, and then obviously throughout the race weekend. But it'll be an interesting storyline to watch with Steven.
We got Finnegan Bailiff, Trinity Karting Group in the mix. We have, again, Mick Gabriel coming back with AEM Karting. Brandon Lemke, that's a name we're familiar with at USPKS competition, a former series champion. He's going to be making his return into the KA senior category, this time racing, says on a LN kart. So that'll be a story to kind of cover as we go into the weekend. Fernando Luque coming back. Kane Martin going to be in the mix. Cooper Auclair, the comp kart driver, going to be making his return to the USPKS competition as well too. Nate, any other names that kind of stand out for you?
Yeah, I mean, the War Power drivers of Eli Warren and Vaughn Beasley are always very, very quick around Newcastle Motorsports Park. You can throw Luke Powers in there as well. Henry Wheeler is someone you can't count out for PSL racing. Looking down the list, you mentioned Brandon Lemke and him returning. That will be a driver who has already proven himself at Newcastle Motorsports Park this year, Route 66 Sprint Series, taking the opening race win there. So, yeah, I mean, and that's not even mentioning the rest of the field and a lot of other talented drivers that have a chance at wins and podiums this weekend.
Yeah, K100 Senior going to be a fun one to watch all weekend long. Let's head into our next commercial break, and when we return, we'll get into X30 Junior, K100 Junior, and K100 Masters after these messages.
In racing, experience is priceless. Franklin Motorsports is a leader in the karting industry, and with over 30 years of combined karting experience, we can provide you with everything you need to go racing. With a large online product selection, select track support events, and a wide variety of shop services, Franklin Motorsports is your complete karting source. Check out our online store at franklinkart.com, where all of our products are just a mouse click away. We continue to add to our growing product selection on the online store, and we ship daily to ensure products get to you quickly. We specialize in IAME engines, tilt seats, the Ceramic product line, Driveline branded products, Briggs & Stratton engines, Smoker performance sprockets, OTK products, AIM, MG tires, and of course, the championship-winning Merlin chassis. In our online store, you'll find a variety of items to fill your karting needs. Franklin Motorsports is also known for our wide variety of services and is home to Innovative Engine Works by FMS, our in-house engine service department. Frame straightening, kart prep, and dyno testing are all services offered regularly at Franklin Motorsports. Be sure to stop by the Franklin trailer during the United States Pro Kart Series events as the official trackside vendor. For all things karting, visit franklinkart.com. Made in the USA. It's not just a statement, it's the mission at Factory Karts of America. Led by four-time Supernats champion Billy Musgrave, Factory Karts manufactures their frames completely in-house at the Riverside, California facility. Built and designed from the ground up specifically for the American karting market, Factory Karts brings new innovations and solutions that are long overdue. Factory Karts bring together the highest quality materials to produce a high-performance, long-lasting kart that has been designed and perfected from 3 years of development, with a focus for a big push across North America in 2023. No other karting manufacturer stands behind its product like Factory Karts does, providing a 2-year warranty on all their frames. Do you remember when American made meant innovative, original, stronger, faster, and just plain better? Well, American made is back. Contact Factory Karts today to join the American made movement. Learn more by visiting factorykarts.com or email Billy anytime at info@factorykarts.com. Since 1933, DID has been designing and manufacturing high-quality chains that are chosen and utilized by the world's best power sports athletes and is the winningest chain brand in the industry. From the hairpin turns of MotoGP to the local circle track and everywhere in between, DID has a chain offering for all level of power sports, and they are designed to outlast and outperform the competition. DID's kart chain lineup offers variations of chains, from high-performance sealed chains to the industry-leading non-sealed 219 HTZ chain. The DID SDH pin treatment is the unique design that allows for a lighter chain for less rotational mass, yet still keeping a high tensile strength for peak performance. DID also offers various levels of 4-pitch and 5-pitch chains to fit your drive chain needs. With over 90 years of experience, stay driven with DID.
Welcome back to the EKN Radio Network and the EKN OutLap, our preview podcast of the USPKS Indiana Grand Prix set for Newcastle Motorsports Park this weekend. It is episode 78, presented by Comet Kart Sales. I'm David Cole, joined by Nate Dean, and we are now into our second part of our previews of the categories. And the next class up on deck is X30 Junior, presented by Speed Concepts Racing. And again, a season high 24 entries set to battle in this category. We have two of the three winners on the season coming into the weekend racing at Newcastle Motorsports Park. Diego Ardiles, a two-time winner, and Enzo Vidmontien in the field, with Turner Brown, the Ohio Grand Prix winner, not in the field. He'll be racing over in Europe this weekend and in the future as well. So Brown not in the field, as long as in addition to Victor D'Alencar, another driver who is sitting in the top five. So right now we have fourth and fifth in the championship, not in the field. So basically we're looking at three drivers in the championship, Nate: Diego Ardiles, Jackson Woolney, Enzo Vidmontien. Ardiles comes in with a pretty big gap though, Nate, heading into the weekend.
Yeah, he's done a good job to build that gap throughout the season. Has Diego definitely been one of the best drivers in the junior ranks for the past year or so. So he'll be looking to be taking home that championship this weekend with Speed Concepts. It could be a big weekend for Speed Concepts in the X30 side of things, with Diego and Austin both leading the way in their respective classes.
Yeah, 364-point lead over his teammate Jackson Woolney. Enzo Vidmontien, the Trinity Karting Group driver, sitting back 379 points out of first. Essentially, Woolney needs Diego Ardiles to finish outside the top 13, while Vidmontien needs Ardiles to finish outside the top 14 in order for a championship hope there. So again, this could be wrapped up by the time we get into Sunday's action, depending on how Ardiles does through qualifying and the 3 rounds of heat races. But Nate, there are a lot of new names to this category for this weekend. Who are some of the notables you're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, Augustus Toniolo making a return to Rolson Performance Group in U.S. competition. He was quite impressive on the latter half of the season in 2023 for the RPG outfit. So you have to think he'll be up there and potentially fighting for wins. In terms of new names, that's really the only one I clocked in, just with, like I said, how impressive he was last year. But some other drivers, at least for me, looking towards, I think Sarah Bradley has had a very strong 2024 season, and just looking for that breakout win in the junior category with Speed Concepts on board. Her Sodi Kart could be big weekend for her as well. Looking throughout the list, Davin Roberts, our most recent EKN driver of the month, will probably be taking the momentum he has at Newcastle Motorsports Park back this weekend to be challenging these drivers up front. But yeah, it's nice to see the X30 junior class grow in size over the year, and a huge talent pool on the grid this weekend.
Well, some of the new names, we actually have 6 female drivers. You already mentioned Sarah Bradley being one of them. Peyton Westcott making her X30 junior debut. Lillian Scarborough has been racing in this category. Naomi Garcia, the driver from, I can't remember what country. It slips my mind, but Naomi Garcia, Peyton Fayen, and Bristol Borneman are among the 6 female drivers in the field. So that's a pretty notable statistic when you're looking at this category. But I think 3 of them are at least making their X30 debut. So those are some of the names. You already mentioned Augustus Tonioli. What was the other name? It slipped my mind. Now I can't see it now. Anyway, but 24 drivers in this field, going to be a good one to watch. But again, most of the eyes are going to be on Ardiles, where he finishes. It's going to be very pertinent to where, if the championship gets wrapped up for him in this category. Now let's turn our eyes over to the KA100 Junior, presented by BBS Race Engines. 45 drivers in the field. Again, the biggest category of the weekend. And we have 2-time winner Enzo Vidmontien in the field, as well as, sorry, I'm going up to the class right now. Martinez, Amardo Amado. See, I'm terrible with names, Nate. This is why I don't speak.
Amador Martinez.
Yes, Martinez, the winner in Wisconsin, and then championship leader who picked up the victory at the Ohio Grand Prix, Sebastian Garzone. So Sebastian Garzone leading Turner Brown by 65 points. But as we mentioned earlier, Turner Brown not going to be at Newcastle Motorsports Park. He's focused his attention to competition in Europe. So that essentially is a gift for Sebastian Garzone, as he now holds a 243 point lead over Diego Ardiles, with Davin Roberts sitting fourth, backed by 423 points. Enzo Vidmontien, our two-time winner, 429 points out of the lead. And again, that's due to a disqualification at the Wisconsin Grand Prix. So loss of a lot of points there for Vidmontien. Otherwise, he'd be right in the mix. But Garzone essentially got an early Christmas gift with Turner Brown not racing this weekend. But still, when you look at it, 45 drivers on the field, anything can happen. We saw it at the Winter Series this year as well, with anything happening down there when the wet weather hits. He's still got to do seventh or better in order to beat Diego Ardiles if Diego was to be able to sweep the weekend. And again, 16th or better to beat out Davin Roberts, 17th or better to beat out Enzo Vidmontien. So still some work to do for Garzone, but Nate, Christmas came early kind of for him.
Yeah, definitely. It's just going to be one of those situations for him of just bring the cart home at this point. Don't do any unnecessary risks. Just make sure you make weight past tech and have a decent race on track. And it's should be a good weekend for Sebastian Garzone if all those things happen. But with the form that Diego Ardiles has been in lately, the Speed Concept guys are going to definitely be going for 3 titles this weekend in KA 100 Junior. So, yeah, it could be an interesting to watch. It will be interesting to see how Orsilon and Sebastian Garzone deal with the pressure this weekend.
And a lot of guys drivers going double duty. You got Jackson Wolney, you got Augustus Toniolo doing double duty as well in his return to US PKS competition. You got Ardiles, as we talked about, several others as well. So again, 45 drivers in the field. Who are a couple of names that we haven't mentioned that could be in the mix? Isaac Melkett could be one of them with PSL Karting. Nate, who else are we looking at?
Yeah, I mean, Isaac's always very, very quick around Newcastle Motorsports Park. Nathan Gulseth almost put it on pole at Ohio and had a pretty decent run for him last time we were at US PKS race. Scrolling down the list, Augustus Toniolo doing double duty in junior this weekend with Rolson Performance Group. Will definitely be one to watch as well. Michael McGoy has been thereabouts with the Ryan Perry Motorsports team, so he'll be looking to potentially get on the podium with a bit of luck. Further down, Peyton Westcott, of course, talked about her in X30 Junior. She it's been one of those seasons where she's only just had bad luck in her classes throughout 2024, so hopefully for her she'll be getting a little bit of good luck this weekend and potentially get a good result.
Yeah, so a lot of drivers in the mix for the KA100 Junior category. Now let's head into our KA100 Masters presented by Nash Motorsports. Again, a season high of 17 drivers in the field. And again, Nate, a category with 4 different winners over the first 4 rounds of racing. We had Adam Kreppen winning in Texas, Max Pappas winning at Trackhouse, Scott Kopp defending his Wisconsin turf, and Clay Settles picking up the victory in Ohio. But 3 of the 4 winners are returning. They were one and done. They won and then didn't come back. Well, now 3 of the 4 winners from this year are returning. They will be in the field. That includes Adam Kreppen, Adam Kreppen, Scott Kopp, and Clay Settles in the field. So that's going to be interesting to see if we can get a repeat winner for the first time this year. But we're also looking at the championship chase, which includes Nicky Coelho, the Franklin Motorsports Merlin driver, holding a 234-point lead over Martin Stone, who just joined the Rolston Performance Group back in at the Wisconsin round. So Stone looking for his first victory. Coella also looking for his first victory as well on the season to help both of them in their championship chases. Right now, looking at the points, Coella needs to just finish 7th or better in all of the races to be able to clinch the championship. So that's a pretty good gap and an advantage for him. Laurentiu Mardan sitting there in 3rd spot, still with mathematically in the hunt, will need Coelho to finish outside the top 9 in all of the races to be able to take over the top spot and steal the championship. So still, again, things up for grabs. A lot of it depends on the heat races that we do have on Saturday, but 3 former winners returning and then 3 drivers fighting for the championship heading into the weekend. Nate, any other notes that you have regarding the category?
Yeah, not really. Really, just hit on all the drivers. I was going to mention Laurentiu Mardan is always incredibly quick around Newcastle Motorsports Park. So I was going to mention him, and then obviously the drivers that have already won on the year, and then including championship points leader Nicky Coelho. Between all of them and some drivers looking for some first wins this season, it's a pretty stacked class for K100 Masters. Yeah,
that includes David Galawina, the Newcastle driver. He's very fast. They're going to be on the Burrell Art chassis. Techno Kart USA teammate Corey Dominic running with Mardan could be another driver. Tyler Pressel, the Adrenaline Fix karting driver, another local to the Newcastle racetrack. So a couple of locals trying to mix it up and become a first-time winner on the year and in the category. But also we have a former SCUSA Pro Tour champion, Scott Falcone, making his return back to karting after a few years off. He's been doing a little bit of racing on the West Coast, and now he's making his way over to Indiana to race in this category, joining Orsilon Racing and racing aboard a Tony Kart. So the Colorado driver, Scott Falcone, making his way back into the mix. So this class should be another that'll be fun and exciting to watch all weekend long. Let's head into our final commercial break, and when we return, we'll get into Mini Swift and Micro Swift after these messages.
There's a new hot button name in American safety equipment, Stilo USA. Every product with Stilo is focused on safety, comfort, and function. Stilo USA is happy to provide you with the proper safety apparel to keep you protected on the track, and their karting lineup is second to none. The ST5 KRT karting helmet is available for $599. Manufactured using a lightweight and extremely strong composite material, the KRT provides an excellent fit and comfort level due to its dual density interior foam lining, and it's equipped with a symmetrical visor that offers excellent vision and an effortless central visor locking system. The ST5 CMR standard was developed jointly by the FIA Institute and Snell Memorial Foundation to ensure safer and lighter weight helmets for the younger karters. Drivers rave about the superior comfort levels, lightweight construction, and the unparalleled field of vision. The perfect youth helmet is available for $549. Stilo didn't stop with their helmets either. The newly developed Carbon Curva Rib Protector is unlike any on the market, with its form-fitting solution to offer superior protection. Head to StiloHelmets.com to review these and many more products to keep you safe on the track. Stilo. Any competition, one helmet. All over the karting world, everyone knows OTK is the gold standard for quality and performance. In the United States, OTK USA is the source for all things OTK. 8 brands under the OTK USA banner are winning races and championships across the country in national programs like the Rock Cup USA Florida Winter Tour, the Challenge of the Americas, the SCUSA Pro Tour and Winter Series, the United States Pro Kart Series, and even more programs throughout the country. And OTK products are also front and center on the podium of club and regional races from coast to coast. Tony Kart, Cosmic, Prix, EOS, and Red Speed have been joined by the Gallard, LN Racing Kart, and CS55 brands. To learn more about a specific product line or to find the OTK USA dealer near you, visit otkusa.com. Specific chassis territories are still available, so kart shops interested in adding a winning component to their product lineups can contact OTK USA directly. OTK, the gold standard of karting. Motor mounts. They keep your engine attached to your chassis, right? The answer is, they're much more important than that. Your motor mount is critical in transferring 100% of the power from your engine through to your tires and the racetrack. You need this to get on the podium each and every time you race. Odenthal Racing Products is here for you, providing the best motor mounts on the karting market today, all designed to make sure you're using all the horsepower you pay for. Odenthal Racing Products is a family-owned and operated business with decades of karting experience in providing products with unmatched quality and value for our racing community. The Pro Series mount for 2-cycle engines, which is available in 0, 5, and 8-degree inclinations, provides a rigid structure to help keep vibration to a minimum without adding too much weight to your setup. The 4-cycle Easy Set system is one of the most popular mounts for the Briggs & Stratton 206 power plant. Multiple mounting holes provide the most adjustability depending on your chassis and seat placement. To ensure a tight fit to your chassis, our ORP wedge clamps get the job done, and they feature a number of design updates to provide a lower profile and lighter weight. The clamps are available from 28mm to 32mm in both standard and Euro style sizes. And now, Odenthal has also revolutionized the karting industry with its new Easy GP camera mounting system. Designed to mount anywhere on your chassis with 1 or 2 cameras, the ORP Easy GP camera mount is your solution to capture that onboard winning moment. Head to odenthalracing.com and find a dealer near you. Odenthal Racing Products, proudly made in the USA.
And welcome back to our final segment here of the EKN OutLap. It is episode 78, as we are previewing the United States Pro Kart Series Indiana Grand Prix, and this show presented by Comet Kart Sales. David Cole and Nate Dean wrapping up our podcast, and our final 2 categories to look at. One includes Mini Swift, presented by Sodi Racing USA, with a total of 29 drivers battling in this category. We have 2 of the 3 winners on the season, in Ashton Woon, 2-time winner, and in Parker Ives, our championship leader, also in the field. So Parker Ives coming in with a 247-point lead over Royce Vega, who sits second in the championship. Ashton Woon sitting there in third after a DQ in round 4, cost some valuable points in the championship. So now he sits back 250 points out of the championship lead. Marco Samet sitting in 4th, and Nico Orbezo sitting 5th in the championship chase. So Nate, I guess all eyes are going to be on Parker Ives as he tries to wrap up what will be could be a possible second championship in USBKS competition.
Yeah, that'll be huge for him, especially as he's only just in Mini Swift right now. Parker's been a very impressive driver in his early years of racing. So if he's walks out of this weekend with 2 championships, he'll definitely be one to watch for the rest of his racing career, wherever that may take him. But obviously, you still got to get the job done come Sunday and throughout the rest of the weekend, especially with how strong the rest of this challenging pack is. It's not going to be easy for him.
Yeah, essentially he'll have to just stay ahead of Royce Vega, Ashton Woon, and Samet to be able to claim this victory. But again, anything can happen, so we'll be continuing to watch this as we go along. No new names that we see in the field, so very familiar names in the field that'll be racing here this weekend at Newcastle Motorsports Park. So let's head into Micro Swift, presented by Team Ferris Racing, which features 28 drivers in the field. We have Zane Burgess winning 3 of the races on the year. Miguel Suarez winning the opening round back in Texas. So it's Burgess with his 3 victories, holding a 342-point lead heading into the weekend ahead of Santiago Orlioli, the MPG Kart Republic driver there sitting in second. Still not out of the realm. Again, essentially, Burgess has to finish top 11 in all the races to be able to clinch the championship this year. But Orlioli still with a mathematical chance at being able to take the title still. Cameron Johnson sitting there in third, Miguel Suarez back in fourth, and Marcelo Flores in the fifth position. Nate, any notable names in the field this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a pretty stacked Micro Swift grid this year, and that's been pretty consistent throughout the rest of it. Hudson Howard, micro driver for Trinity Karting Group, obviously son of Jay Howard. He's been turning the wick up in the past couple of months, and Newcastle Motorsports Park is a home track for him, so could see a bit of a surprise out of Hudson there. Yeah, apart from that, not really a ton sticking out that we aren't accustomed to in the season. Daniel Guerra signed up for MPG Motorsports. He's had a very impressive season, both on the national and regional level so far for him. So it could be interesting to see if Danny brings it to Zane Burgess this weekend.
Yeah, Jadon Francisco's been up towards the front aboard the RPM Nitro kart. Win Godshock been racing in Europe, so got some European racing under his belt. So he'll be coming back to race here in the U.S. to wrap up the United States Pro Kart Series Championship. So again, the eyes will be on Burgess. We'll see if he's able to wrap things up by the time we get into Sunday's action. Be sure to follow EKN during the 2024 United States Pro Kart Series Indiana Grand Prix. Will be on all the social media platforms. Make sure you follow EKN, hashtag EKN at USPKS, hashtag USPKS, hashtag Indiana GP, and hashtag NCMP. Make sure you listen online to ekartingnews.com/live or ekartingnews.com/radio or on the EKN Radio Network app, as we will stream all the action from Newcastle Motorsports Park all weekend long. Nate, any final words as we wrap up our show?
Yeah, looking forward to Championship Sunday as usual, and hopefully the rain stays away from Newcastle this weekend.
That's going to be the hope. Yeah, hopefully the wet weather pushes away or hits at night and doesn't hit us during the day and stays away. But I guess we'll have to kind of just monitor that as we get closer and closer to Friday and Saturday. So with that, we thank you for listening. For Nate Dean, I'm David Cole. Until next time.